Hello everyone, this is part 38 of What If Naruto Figured It All Out, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. In a hidden place, deep under the ground, where light only came from the candles in the walls, 3 men were sitting around a table, having their breakfast. One was about 25 years old and had round glasses and white hair caught on a ponytail. The other was about 20 years old, he had light blue hair and sharp teeth, dressing a purple outfit. The third one was a handsome man with black hair, spiky on the back and plain in the front, wearing a white shirt with a fan stamped on the back. The 3 appeared to be reading the newspaper. There was a noise of someone running and a girl about 5 years old entered in the room, jumping at the black-haired man. She was wearing a white shirt, also with a fan stamped on the back, and a black skirt. The girl had big black hair and black eyes. The man smiled at her and caressed her head. "So, have you slept it all, Chi?" the man asked. She smiled back, blushed. "Yes, I've made the bed after waking," she answered. The other 2 men looked at her, noticing she had some red hair on her clothes. "Ah, Sasuke, how should I say this? Chi has," the light blue-haired man tried to warn Sasuke, but he was caressing Chi. "Ah. What?" Sasuke asked. "Oh, I know. Chi interrupted. "Ugly Sugetsu wants to say his biggest wish is to become an Uchiha like us." Sugetsu pissed off. "What? You ill-mannered miniature of AB. I hate you. I don't want to be an Uchiha." Sugetsu screamed. The white-haired man sighed. "Yes you want," she assured, showing her tongue at him. "There are only 2 types of persons in this world. The ones who are Uchiha and the ones who want to be Uchiha." "I know," Sasuke laughed. "Come on, Chi. Don't annoy Sugetsu. Be a good girl," Sasuke warned. She smiled at him, blushing again. "Yes, Daddy," she answered and started having her breakfast. The white-haired man stared at her and then moved his eyes to Sasuke. There was a woman's thin scream, making the underground structure tremble. She jumped at Sasuke's lap, hugging his N. There was another noise of someone running. A woman with red hair and eyes hidden by her glass entered. Her head appeared to have been sewed down by a mowing machine, making her look ridicule. The glassed man and Sugetsu hide their laughs. Look what you have done with my hair." The woman screamed and was about to grab Chi, but Sasuke put his hand above the kid. "You have seen my hair while I was sleeping." "No, I didn't," she cried and looked at Sasuke. "I didn't, Daddy. She is lying. She wants you to hate me so she could stay with you all for herself." What are you saying, you small demon?" The woman was really pissed off. "Look, Sasuke. She has my hair on her clothes." Sasuke stared Chi. "She did that to herself and put the hairs on my clothes so she could accuse me." She cried. "She's mean. Now I'm the one who's mean. I'm going to rub your face against the wall." The woman was about to get the kid, when a man about 60 years old entered. He had long black hair, white skin and green snake eyes. "What's all this noise?" he asked and then looked at the woman. "Trying a new haircut, Karen." Sugetsu didn't hold up more and laughed out very loud. Karen blushed, embarrassed. Sasuke got up and sat Chi on his chair, walking at Karen after that. "Karen," he called. She blushed a lot, as Sasuke got closer to her, putting his hand on her butt and the other on her chin. "You're not going to let a child make you lose your head, are you?" he whispered, caressing her butt and moving his lip very close to hers, making her feeling very hot. "She is just a kid. A woman as gallant as you should let small things like this annoy you." "Ah." Karen was breathing faster as Sasuke started K her. He turned into reply. The white-haired man said. "I agree with you, Kabuto." Sugetsu said. Sasuke stopped K her. "I know you can put your hair even prettier than it was before, so, just go and fix it. Don't let Chi annoy you." Sasuke spoke. Karen, completely seduced by him, left and did as he said. The Uchiha gazed at Chi, with an angry look. "It wasn't me," Chi affirmed. Sasuke sighed. A big tongue surrounded Chi and pulled her up in the hair. Orochimaru placed Chi's face right in front of his eyes. I never saw a kid with such malice on its eyes, Orochimaru said. Plus, once Chi is small, her movements are quick and are hardly spotted. Your eyes? Chi showed Orochimaru her tongue. You'll become a K machine. Chi is not going to be a K machine. Sasuke took Chi out of Orochimaru's tongue. Come, sweetie. Daddy wants to play with you outside. Yeah. Chi smiled and the two left. That kid is not normal, Kabuto. Orochimaru looked at his medical ninja. Yes, I've also noticed. She is still young and at her age is normal to happen a situation like this. Kabuto explained. She has developed the Electra complex towards Sasuke, and a strong one by the looks. I've already warned Sasuke-san, but he didn't appear to be worried. After all, it is normal at her age. The problem lies if she continues with the complex. After all, she has no mother to help her surpass it. At least, not one she knows. Sasuke and Chi walked to the surface. The hideout was covered by a huge field of cherry trees. Their pink flowered filled the landscape and their scent relaxed the noses. Sasuke took a deep breath and smiled. Chi ran at a swing that was tied to a large branch of a cherry tree. Come, Daddy, she called. Sasuke pushed her so she could swing. Stay back, Daddy, I'm going to rise the swing very high. Sasuke leaned on the trunk and then continued looking at her, happy. A cherry blossom fell in front of the Uchiha and he grabbed it. The flower was so pink and made Sasuke remember a good moment in his life. He closed his eyes and recalled a moment when he was under a cherry tree filled with blossoms. Along with him was a pink-haired girl about 16 years. She was smiling at him with her eyes shining. Sasuke bit his lip as he remembered his hands taking her clothes off and then touching her body and, watch me, Daddy. She called, waking Sasuke from his memories. He looked at her, seeing her swinging very high. It looks like I'm flying. Yeah, she flies like a phoenix. Be careful, Chi. Sasuke warned. She stared feeling dizzy, which was noticed by Sasuke. He stopped the swing and sat in it, putting Chi on his lap. I told you to be careful. Swinging so high makes you feel dizzy. Chi leaned her head on Sasuke's seat and noticed he was holding a cherry blossom. Do you like cherry blossoms, Daddy? Sasuke smiled and put the flower on Chi's hand. Yes, I love them. Sasuke confessed. And you? Chi stared the flower for a long time and then she sent it a bad look. No, I hate them, she said and gave the flower back to Sasuke. I hate anything that comes from wood. Sasuke caressed Chi's head while she fell asleep. After that, he pulled the flower on her hair. The man smiled at Chi. I wish so much you could be my daughter, my real daughter. I love you so much, Sasuke said and then sighed. You're going to help me, Itachi, and then, he stared the cherry blossom. Maybe we could find you a good mother. Sasuke's heart pained a little, making him feel sad. Why do I become sad every time I remember her? So sad. The sun shined over Konoha as always, waking up the villagers. Sakura was making breakfast, while watching TV. Kiba entered and hugged the medical ninja, painting her cheeks in red. So, what are you going to do for the morning? Kiba asked. I have a meet with the girls and we are going to have lunch together. She answered and Kiba. He looked at the TV and found something strange. Wasn't the Good Morning Konoha presented by Maya? Why is this guy on the program? Kiba asked, staring the TV, just like Sakura. You're right. Maya is Konoha's best reporter. It's strange for her to miss a program. Well, that doesn't change our lives. Go. Put the dishes on the table. Sakura pointed at him with a wooden spoon, wearing her white apron, making her boyfriend laugh. What? An hour later, Sakura went to Ino's house, where she was along with Hinata and Temari. They had some tea and cookies in the table, above a lace-trimmed towel with flowers. Oh, Sakura, Ino called, pulling her to the table. You won't believe what happened. Ino's excitement was clear. Look, she showed a diamond ring on her finger, blushing a little, catching Sakura by surprise. No way. Sakura held Ino's hand. See, girls, I'm going to get married, she said. All of them stared at her. So what? I'm also married. Temari remembered. Ino sent her a tricky smile. I'm not marrying because I got pregnant. I'm marrying because I'm pretty, Ino said, touching her hair. See the size of this precious. Shikamaru didn't give you one like this. Temari got angry. Don't worry, Temari-san. I'm sure he hasn't forgotten to buy you a ring. Hinata said. Temari sighed after hearing the Hyuga's words. We've been married for more than 4 years. That guy is totally clueless. Temari confessed. That's why you should have found one like mine. Ino made a victorious pose. My fiancé is so clueless that always ends up doing what I say, so I don't need to worry. Every time I want something, I just tell him I really need it and that it is good for our relationship and he ends up buying it for me. Sure, the goddess of luck smiled to you. Sakura said with a little envy. You have an easy life. Why don't you ask Kiba a wedding ring? After all, you've been living together for more than 4 years. Temari asked. It wasn't our option. Kiba got his kicked from home by his mother and I couldn't leave him on the road. Sakura explained, remembering when Kiba appeared on her house with his baggage. After all, it was my entire fault. But, unlike some who are afraid to lose their boyfriends, Sakura glanced Ino. I'm not in a hurry to marry Kiba. I'm still young. Hinata looked down, becoming sad. The other women noticed. Getting married, Hinata whispered and the image of Naruto in the hospital appeared on her mind, causing her lower lip to tremble. Sakura also looked down, she was aware of Naruto's condition, just like Hinata. Well, Hinata, sure Naruto is going to have lots of trouble buying you a wedding ring. Ino said, calling Hinata's attention. After all, you're from a noble clan. If he buys you a simple ring, your father will take that as an insult and blast Naruto into another dimension. Hinata laughed quietly, hiding it with her hands. Naruto-kun doesn't need to buy me a ring. Hinata smiled and closed her eyes, thinking, he already offered me life. You girls get satisfied with very few. Ino sighed. Hours later, in the middle of the afternoon, Naruto was getting ready for the time of the day he loved and feared the most at the same time, visiting Hinata at her home. Ever since the moment he steps within the Hyuga mansion, all the persons inside the house look at him and only stop when he left. A member from the branch family, dressed in black, drove Naruto into a big room with a small table on the center. Within there were 4 more branch Hyuga. Naruto sat on the ground and waited, under the eyes of the Hyuga. Naruto-kun. Hinata entered, dressing a wonderful white kimono, followed by her father. The two sat near the Jinchuriki. I'm happy to see you're okay. I got so worried. Naruto held her hands, caressing them and then smiled. You guys keep worrying with me. Relax, he said and was about to kiss Hinata, but he noticed Hiashi looking at him, making him feel even more embarrassed. You know, dear father-in-law, it is hard to date your daughter with you always looking at us. Father-in-law, what boldness, Hiashi said, a little angry. Please, let me stay alone with your daughter. Naruto begged, joining his hands. Hinata blushed seeing him like that. Of course not. You will have improper behaviors with her. You need to be watched. Hiashi underlined. Naruto crawled and grabbed Hinata's father's trousers, pleading. Please. I said no. Hiashi insisted. Then can you just reduce the number of the hounds? Really? Did your father do this with you? Naruto asked. Hinata looked at her father, who continued staring at Naruto with the eyes of someone who didn't want to negotiate. Don't you have other things to do? Like training Hanabi? Hiashi closed his eyes. Now that you talk about that. Hiashi sent a look at the 4 Hyuga and they left. Neji. The Hyuga appeared, kneeled down. He also got very handsome with time. I'm going to train Hanabi. Look over Hinata and her excited boyfriend. Make sure they don't leave this room and keep your eyes on them, especially on Naruto's hands and tongue. Naruto blushed, but not as much as Hinata. Yes, Neji answered and Hiashi left. Naruto sighed with relief. Finally, Naruto hugged Hinata. Where were we? Neji sent a serious look at Naruto, who noticed he appeared to be sad. What? Neji noticed his friend realized his condition and tried to hide his look. Oi, Neji. Hinata put her hand on Naruto's shoulder and said no with her head. What happened? Neji. Not all are as lucky as you, Naruto, Neji said, sad. Hinata went near him and put her hands on his shoulders. Maybe, brother Neji, you should talk with someone outside the Hyuga. Hinata advised. Neji looked at Naruto and then closed his eyes. Yesterday, when I returned from the Anbu mission I had with Hinata-sama, I was notified by the Hyuga lords to show myself to them immediately. Neji opened his eyes after finishing talking and stared Naruto. They found out I was having an affair with a woman outside the Hyuga. What? Naruto was caught by surprise. How could they? You dated on the other side of the village and you told us you checked every place with your Byakugan. Neji closed his eyes again. I still don't know. They said that I, as the future leader from the branch family, should marry a Hyuga, also from the branch, so none outside the clan could have access to any information regarding the Byakugan. Neji explained. Naruto was really angry, without comprehending why his friend needed to live with such ridicule rules. But you denied, didn't you? You said it was a lie, didn't you? Ah, Neji. Naruto insisted and tried to know more. Hinata stared him and then closed her eyes. They caught my girlfriend and made her confess. Once she is a civil, it was very easy for them to extract information. And what are you going to do? Naruto was exalted, seeing Neji was suffering a lot with that. Neji sighed. If I continue this, she will get hurt. Neji bit his lip. You can't let them control your life. Naruto screamed, grabbing Neji by the neckband. Leave the Hyuga and stay with her. You're throwing your life away. He can't, Hinata said, sadly. Naruto looked at her. If he leaves the Hyuga, the main family will accuse him of treason and use the seal on his head to dispose of him. The Jinchuriki left the Hyuga, but continued revolted. You were only allowed to date Hinata-sama because she was turned aside on the successor lineage. Otherwise, none within the Hyuga would accept it. Even now, it is hard for you to date her image if she was the inheritor. Neji said. Naruto looked at Hinata. I really can't understand the Hyuga. That's why I'm going to change the Hyuga as soon as I become Hokage. Naruto assured. Are you? Neji asked, making Naruto stare him with his heartbeat accelerated. It's already more than 60 years, it's no longer about becoming Hokage. The Jinchuriki remembered Shikamaru saying the same thing. Hinata put her hands on her grabbing her clothes tightly, suffering for remembering something that made her cry every time she did so. You should land your feet on earth sometimes. Naruto smiled. I'm going to become Hokage. You can be sure of that. Naruto affirmed. Neji turned his back at him. Go ahead. Date with Hinata-sama. I'm not planning to watch UK. The Hyuga man said. Naruto was a little upset with Neji's words, but turned to Hinata, hugging her. He was so annoyed that Kei, his girlfriend, without noticing she was crying. Hinata held Naruto tightly, while her tears fell and she enjoyed being Kei by her beloved one. Naruto-kun, she thought. I don't want to lose you. She felt one of Naruto's hand caressing her leg and the other her bee. The man was trying to empty his thoughts and fears by feeling the woman he loved near him, so no worries could vacillate his beliefs and dreams. Hinata started feeling on fire as Naruto's hands got inside her clothes. If I could, I would give you everything. I don't want you to go without being really happy. She no longer cared if Naruto was touching her body. She no longer cared if he wanted to do it. She just wanted to. Aha! A girl's voice screamed. Neji looked at the door, just as Naruto and Hinata. Hanabi ran at Naruto, grabbing his hair and pulling him by it to the door. You're like a stamp. You don't leave my sis not even for a second. You're hurting me. Naruto yelled. Go away. Is your hobby annoying me? What's the source of this noise? Hiashi appeared and found strange how Hanabi was grabbing Naruto by the hair. You. He sent an angry look at Neji. I told you to keep your eyes on him. Neji answered by kneeling and bowing down, asking for forgiveness. Why do I allow you do that with my daughter, is something I'm still trying to find out. You're free to go. But, I don't want to leave. Naruto said. I wasn't asking, I was demanding. Hiashi screamed. Naruto got up, said bye to Hinata and left, pissed off. After that, the Hyuga leader gazed at his daughter with unpleasantness. No daughter of mine will be a whore. Hiashi yelled, making his daughter become sad. Go to your room. You too, Neji. The two left. Hanabi grinned at them with a wicked look. Hiashi closed his eyes and sighed. Naruto walked angrily down the road, kicking a small stone and watching where it fell, so he could kick it again. I hate that Hanabi and Hiashi, I hate them, Naruto whispered and stopped in the middle of the road, sighing. When I become Hokage, they will lick my feet and kneel down before me, asking me to marry Hinata. Oh, so that's why you want to become Hokage, a voice said, with a mock tone. Naruto turned back and saw Mirai with Kaoru on her arms. But then again, they would not show you respect by who you are but only by the lore you carry. Naruto smiled and then looked at Kaoru, who was sleeping with a blue balloon tied on his hand by a string. Mirai looked at him too. He played so much that he fell asleep. Looks like there is a time when every energetic child needs a recharge. You know, he looks a lot like you, Naruto. The man blushed very quickly. Well, I need to go and try to catch Kyo and Bio. I left my reports with them. I'm sure they're still on the hot springs. See your. Mirai continued her way, while Naruto stared at her and Kaoru. Suddenly, he felt very sad and guilty. Ah, he sighed. Let me try to catch Iruka-sensei to have some ramen. The sudden sadness disappeared and he went searching his old teacher. At Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto and Iruka were having ramen. Iruka continued the same as always, except that now he had a wedding ring on his finger. So, the Hyuga continue to keep an eye on you and Hinata, Iruka said, eating a bunch of ramen after Naruto told him what had happened. They are very conservative, you need to be calm. Naruto also drove some ramen to his mouth. I know, but I have been dating Hinata for more than 4 years. Even you married Anko-senpai and you have only dated for 2 years. Naruto remembered, making Iruka blush. Besides, we have both decided to give this step in our relationship. It's not fair being held back by the Hyuga. I just want to live my life with Hinata. We always share everything. Our problems, our happy and sad moments. Why do they? Just do as I say. Iruka put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Have patience and soon you and her will have that special moment. Naruto smiled. They finished their meal and were about to leave. I wanna be the godfather of your baby, Iruka-sensei. Naruto said very loud. Iruka blushed from the tips of his hair to the edge of his toes. Congratulations. Iruka smiled. At night, Mirai was with Kaoru on the hotel. With her were Jiraiya, just as he always looked, and 2 twins guys about Naruto's age and very looking alike the Anbu. They were so similar that anyone could mistake them with Naruto's siblings, except that their eyes had an odd ripple pattern, they had L on their eyebrows and tongue and had their hair grabbed on a small ponytail, a little like Jiraiya. Konoha continues to have the hottest babes in the world. One of the twins said, making Mirai sigh. You're a lucky bastard, Kaoru. The other said, putting his hand on the kid's hair. And you smell sweet. No, I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I stink. I stink. Kaoru started crying, causing Mirai to send a reprehensive look to the man. You're mean. Kyo. You know Kaoru doesn't like when you talk about his scent. Mirai alerted. Kyo smiled. But it is really odd for a child to smell so sweet. Jiraiya opined, getting closer to Kaoru, who had hid his face on his mother's sea. I never saw a child like him. Mirai smiled at her kid, caressing him. He looks a lot like us. Bio said and he and Kyo smiled. Sure his handsomeness came from our side of the family. The twins said. Jiraiya smiled proudly. My kids are awesome like me. He hugged Kyo and Bio. Not only they are good looking but they are also pervert. What more could I wish for? Poor Aunt Surin, what would she say if she saw this? Mirai asked. Jiraiya lowered his look, with a sad smile on his face, which was noticed by the twins. The last thing she said to me was that she hated me. That proud arrogant bee. Jiraiya said. Kyo and Bio stared at each other. They only knew Jiraiya was their father 5 years ago, when their uncle confirmed it with him. Not telling me they were my children. Aunt Surin always was very mean. Don't worry, Jiraiya-san. Now you have your kids. Mirai cheered him up. Jiraiya smiled as a sign of growth. Yeah, old man. Now you have us. Kyo and Bio said, making one of those silly poses only Jiraiya could perform. Come. The hotel has a hot spring. They pulled the seinen and left, as Kakashi entered. Mirai laughed quietly. Sure those 3 seem to be happy together. Mirai said. Kakashi sat near her and caressed Kaoru, who was feeling sleepy. Oh, mommy's little boy wants to sleep. Kaoru yawned and rubbed his eyes in a very cute way. Come, let's go to bed. Mirai and Kakashi laid Kaoru on his mother's bed and he fell asleep right after that. Sweet dreams. Mirai kissed his forehead and left, just like Kakashi. He looks so fine. Thank you for taking care of him, Kakashi. I'm his father after all. Kakashi said. Mirai smiled and sighed. Ever since my grandfather's I have to do all the work as Tsukikage, plus, I'm working on the investigations regarding Chi's whereabouts. I don't have the time to look over Kaoru as I want to. Mirai confessed. Kakashi looked down. Maybe that's because you're more worried with finding Chi. Kakashi said. Mirai quickly looked at him as her heart started beating faster. You need to remember you have 2 kids and not only one. What do you want me to do? To stop searching for Chi. She is my daughter. Mirai screamed. I'm asking you to be reasonable. You don't even know if Chi is alive. Kakashi argued, making Mirai tear. He noticed he made her feel sad and went near her, putting his hands on her shoulders. Life goes on. Mirai cleaned her tears and calmed down. Kakashi put his hand on his big neckband, pulling it down, showing the face his students long desired to see, and kissed Mirai's forehead. I've missed you. Kakashi's hand landed on Mirai's face, turning her to him as Kakashi blushed by being so close to her. He was about to kiss her, but she turned her face aside, crying. Kakashi sighed. Speaking seriously, for how long haven't you seen Itachi? Mirai's eyes opened wide when that name entered her ears. How can you still think about him? Even after we had a child together. I told you I still love Itachi and that I didn't want to date with you. Mirai said. I've already hurt you a lot. If we started again I would end up hurting you again. We had just a night, Kaoru came from that night. True we were irresponsible, but, don't use Kaoru as an excuse. I still love Itachi and that's why I want to find Chi. I know this may hurt you, but Chi is the daughter of the man I really love. Kakashi felt angry. Try to understand. You should find another woman, one that really loves you. I love Kaoru as much as I love Chi, so please. So what? If Itachi suddenly appears again, you would stay with him in the hidden moon and take my child with you? Kakashi asked, pissed off. Sorry, but no child of mine will be raised with AM. Itachi is not AM. Mirai screamed, defending the one she loved. You don't know him, you shouldn't. He is AM. If it wasn't for him, Sasuke would never have killed your daughter because he would never have left the village in first place. Kakashi argued. You are so blindly in love with him that you can't see that. You're throwing your life away. You have no future with Itachi, only death. Mirai lowered her head, feeling very sad. You're wrong, he really cares about me and Chi. He is not AM. You don't know why he did those things. Mirai cried. Kakashi looked aside. He has a good heart. Ha, a good heart. That's pretty funny. Kakashi mocked. Mirai him. The Hokage stared her with her hands marked craved on his face. The last time I checked, I was the one helping you finding Chi and not Itachi. What a father he came to be. I hate you. Mirai cried. On his room, Kaoru waked up and started hearing his parents arguing with each other. Itachi was always so fond, so careful. He is not how you're painting him. For someone with your level 1 thought you would be smarter and you would realize he just wanted to get laid with you, so he could say he had S with a cage. Kakashi said. Mirai closed her eyes. No, no, no. She cried and Itachi's face appeared on her mind, as she remembered the good things he said to her. I'm going to search for those 9 demons and free you, Itachi is. I wonder, if we had no feelings, why do we desire each other now? Why do I want to give myself to you? The woman started hiccuping. Being a mother made you even prettier. Mirai cleaned her tears. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, Itachi is. I'll free scold, I can assure, you're my one and only. Itachi is. My one and only, I don't want you to badmouth him. I won't admit it, even for the father of a child of mine. You're as dumb as your mother. Kakashi sighed. If you want Itachi so badly, then pass the night with him. Oh. Wait, he is not here. I guess he never is he? Kakashi left, the door. Mirai bit her lip and cleaned her tears again, suffocating with her longing towards the Akatsuki. She sat on the sofa and crossed her arms around her legs, crying. On the other side of the village, Naruto was on his bed, seeing TV while Sachiko was sleeping above his belly. The man looked down, remembering when he crossed the Tsukikage on the afternoon and then recalled when Mirai was near death, 5 years ago. Really, that was the longest night of my life. Naruto's memories were interrupted by a knock on the window that scared Sachiko. He looked there and saw Hinata, catching him by surprise. Hinata. He opened the window and the woman entered, sitting on his bed. What are you doing here? She smiled, lowering her eyes a little bit. Dad expelled you from my house so meanly and I saw how angry you were, so I came to cheer you up a little. She said, blushing. Naruto smiled and grabbed her hands. Thank you, he said and pulled her softly to him, laying on the bed and covering her with his blankets. I was remembering that day, Hinata stared Naruto. If you hadn't appeared, probably I would have left Konoha. The man put his hand on her face and kissed her, while the TV sound was the only noise that could stop them from hearing their hearts beating faster. After the kiss they stared for a while. Thank you for forgiving me. Hinata blushed even more. I think I should buy a bigger apartment, but the giant amount of money I won when I was looking over Mirai was wasted in Kirika's treatment. My wage is very good, but I spend so much time in mission, I don't have time to find a good place. Naruto stared Hinata. What do you think? Well, my house is huge. No, Naruto quickly answered, understanding what Hinata was talking about. I have no plans about living with your father and your sister. Please no. I'd rather Hinata made sad face. Her boyfriend caressed her hair and kissed her again. I want a place only for the two of us. Hinata smiled. You have your castle. Hinata remembered. It's big and has lots of space, a big garden, some hot springs. Naruto looked down, sad. Kurogen-sama's ghost stopped appearing before you, didn't it? Naruto closed his eyes. Was that night, the last time you saw it? Yes, Naruto confessed. Maybe I shouldn't have screamed at him. He also appeared to be very sad. Now I understand why he did what he did. Naruto-kun, you did so much for Konoha, and for me. Hinata's face couldn't blush more as she appeared to be trying to say something, but had no courage to do it while Naruto was looking at her. I want to do something for you, like a little gift. Hinata was almost stammering. Naruto blushed a lot and slowed in dry. Do you want to do it? Suddenly, he also became very nervous. Hinata hid her face behind her hands, shivering a little. No, it is not that. I don't think today is a good day, I'm with my period. Plus, your bed is too small. She said, but the two continued nervous. I want you, Naruto-kun, to. Do you want me to? Oh, how unlucky. When you're with the period we have no chance to make it at all. Naruto said, trying to calm a little. But, if you wanna try something to make me happy, Naruto grabbed Hinata's hand, interlacing his fingers with hers. I know something that could excite me a lot. The Anbu pulled his girlfriend's hand under the blankets and sheets of the bed, making her become even more nervous. He put their hands inside his boxes, touching his private place. Hinata started trembling, but Naruto hugged her with his free arm, continuing caressing her hair. Now, the Jinchuriki whispered at her ear. Move your hand up and down, like this. He showed her how to do it with his own hand, taking it off after the explanation. Hinata was very nervous, thinking if she had the courage to do it or not. If you don't want to, then. No, it's not that, it's just that. It's the first time I touch. Naruto noticed Hinata's nervy by her voice and kissed her forehead. You've also done to me something I loved, why shouldn't I? Hinata started moving her hand, making Naruto breathing faster. She continued calmly as she watched Naruto's reaction on his face. He blushed a lot and held Hinata more tightly, while feeling his pleasure going up from his spine to his brain, making him feel as if he was near to touch heaven. Hinata was happy for seeing he was enjoying and continued, seeing Naruto's eyes rolling up and hearing his breath that looked like a suffocating one, followed by AM. The man also started trembling, feeling very hot and, by a small moment, he grabbed Hinata and loudly. Naruto-kun. Hinata stared him as he got back his breath, with his arms crossed over her body. Are you okay? He smiled. Yeah, very okay. He kissed her, but then he remembered something, becoming even more nervous. I dirtied your hand. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get you a towel. Naruto turned to his bedside table, opening a drawer and taking a blue towel. Here, let me clean it. He grabbed his girlfriend's and cleaned it. The two continued very embarrassed. True, both had already decided they wanted to give another step on their relationship, but the two continued to be inexperienced in this kind of things, making them become anxious and shy very easily. The two were really blushed, looking to Naruto's hand cleaning Hinata's. There was a knock on the door, scaring the two Anbu. They looked there and the knock continued. Wei, who can it be? Naruto asked. I really hope it is not your sister, but just in case, let me change my boxes. Hinata turned her face aside, very nervous, while Naruto changed his underwear. He went to the kitchen and opened the door. There was no one. Naruto found it strange and was about to close the door, when he felt something grabbing his legs. He lowered his head and saw Kaoru. What are you doing here? Naruto kneeled down and held Kaoru on his arms, noticing he was crying. What's wrong? Naruto walked with Kaoru to his bedroom, where they caught Hinata by surprise, and sat on the bed. The kid continued crying. Tell Naruni what's wrong. Naruto caressed Kaoru's face as he hiccuped. Mommy and Daddy were speaking loudly at each other and then Daddy left Mommy crying on the sofa. I don't want Mommy to cry, I don't want. Kaoru cried and rubbed his face on Naruto's sea. The man looked up at Hinata and her at him. Hey, don't worry. Mommy will be fine tomorrow. Naruto tried to calm him down. Sometimes, mommies and daddies need to fight a little, but after that, they become friends again. Kaoru rose his head, staring at Naruto, who smiled. Trust me. Kaoru smiled too and hugged Naruto tightly. Can I sleep here, Naruni? Kaoru asked, making Naruto very happy. Every time you want to. Naruto answered, caressing the kid's yellow hair. Hinata smiled at him, but then she noticed tears falling from Naruto's eyes as he hugged Kaoru. If only I could tell you I'm. There was another person on the door and it appeared to be scratching it. Hinata got up and opened it. A white wolf with snow glasses and a black scarf entered and ran at Kaoru, howling. What? Hinata was about to move, but Mirai quickly entered, wearing a big white coat and reached Naruto's bedroom, who stared at her, noticing her tearful eyes. The Tsukikage cried more and took Kaoru from Naruto's hands, crying and crying. Mommy is so sorry, Mirai lamented. Kaoru looked at her, while she held him tightly and cried. Mommy is so sorry. Please, my baby, forgive me. Mirai continued crying. Her wolf went near her and started licking her tears. I'm such a lame mother. Mommy, Kaoru noticed she was broken-hearted. Don't ever run away from Mommy. Never. She caressed his face and then looked at Naruto. I'm sorry. She got up and covered Kaoru with her mantle. I haven't noticed Kaoru had jumped from the window. He said you and Kakashi-sensei had a fight. Naruto said. Mirai looked down and sniffed. Mirai, she was breathing lightly, trying to calm down. If you want to stay here with Kaoru to empty your head. But, you were dating with Hinata, I don't want to. Don't worry. Hinata said. I'll stay in the kitchen with Naruto-kun while you rest in here, so you won't be alone. Mirai smiled and thanked. Come, Kaoru. Mirai put Kaoru on the bed. Hinata held Naruto's hand and took him out of the bedroom. The Tsukikage laid down and hugged her child. She closed her eyes and rubbed her face on Kaoru's. Itachi, where are you? Come back, please, she wished quietly. Naruto and Hinata sat at the table. The Hyuga noticed Naruto still had some tears on his eyes. She put her hand on his face and kissed his cheek near his eyes, making him smile. I want you to share your pain with me. Hinata said. Naruto leaned his head on her shoulder, hugging her. She caressed his face, while he silently cried for something only less than 10 people in Konoha knew what it was. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.